The number one weapon of witchcraft by surviving witchcraft with at Oshun speaks. I'm gonna like her video, like my video, support your boy. Let's see what she talking about. Let's see what the number one weapon is.
What if I told you that those cravings that you have for sugar, for processed foods like your chips and your cookies
I already know someone just got triggered.
or red meat is actually a symptom of spiritual attack and spiritual warfare? And what if I also told you that consuming those things could actually make you more spiritually
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't say that every single craving is a spiritual attack, but definitely having a bad diet will definitely make you more susceptible. Now, look, this is coming from a person who's not eating right now. I'm on day 11 of a fast, going 40 days. When I stop fasting, I'm gonna be alkaline vegan. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even eat red meat and stuff like that. But I'm also aware of the fact that just because you crave those things, it's not always a spiritual attack. I mean, depending on how you define spiritual attack, because depending on how you define it, then it actually kind of can be. You feel me? Because at that point, like, here's what I mean. If you're craving that, it's not always that there's like a someone doing witchcraft on you. You know what I'm saying? It's not always also that there's some being trying to necessarily ruin your life. However, it could be a spiritual attack in the sense that whatever's making you crave these things are things that go against your spirit and are essentially indirectly attacking your spirit, even if it's happening unconsciously. Like, you know how like parasites in your body could make you want to crave food and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Technically, that could be like a spiritual attack because feeding into those cravings makes you feed less into the cravings of your spirit. You know what I'm trying to say? So, yeah, so yeah, that's how I would see that. But let's let her talk.
vulnerable to consuming those things could actually make you more spiritually vulnerable to spiritual
That
attack
is
and
facts, though.
sorcery.
That's facts.
And so, what I'm going to be revealing today is the number one way that sorcerers work to weaken a person's energy and vibration, and that is through food. I've often talked before about how a lot of sorcery and baneful magic that is intended to harm someone or bind someone or stagnate someone is a low vibrational form of magic. Not that it's not powerful, but that it is a low vibrational, dark type of magic. And so, in order to get the person who is being targeted by low vibrational magic into an energy that is an energetic match to the low vibrational magic, the sorcerer essentially has to first go through this kind of process of breaking down the vibration, the frequency, the aura of the person.
And that I should just lie, my bad, but that is facts, and that is when that's when, like, if you don't even eat that type of food normally and stuff like that, and like you ain't even really been craving that for real, then you start craving that joint randomly, then it's like, okay, word. But if you've been eating that joint since birth, bro, and you kind of just naturally crave that, it's probably just the parasites and also just your body craving that food. But yeah, definitely facts though. This will happen. I remember there's a period of time when I was dealing with a demon that dealt with gluttony. You know what I'm saying? And when it was trying to fuck with me, it would try to get me to eat horrible food like Taco Bell and stuff like this. This one I'm still vegan, by the way. Like, but I wasn't eating no meat though. I was getting like vegan stuff from Taco Bell, but it was like they tried to give me a, cause like I already could eat Taco Bell without no spiritual attack stuff, but it's like they were trying to get me to overly eat like Taco Bell and like these other like really heavy, dense meals that also just weren't heavy. You feel? I mean, also just weren't healthy. You know, and like just give me to eat a lot of food. I'm like them cravings would be crazy as hell. Before I before when I wasn't realizing it, I was feeding into them shits until like I noticed that I was doing it. It was affecting me horribly, and then my actual experiences were starting to get weird. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on here? Then I peeped this demon of gluttony. I was fighting it and stuff like that. And then yeah, so this definitely is facts. I've definitely experienced this shit for a fact. Not from like a person per se attack. Well, actually, it could have been a person, but who sent the demon, but I just think it was just like I naturally fight beings on purpose. I try to fight beings on purpose. So I kind of have random attacks like this happen sometimes. Nowadays in my life, I've been getting really high in my vibration to the point where like I really get attacked like that. If I'm fighting, I just chose to go out and fight. But like actually what attacks happening, they have to be happening on the outskirts. And I kind of noticed it from the outskirts, but it's never usually coming directly at me. So they don't really get close to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, she's mentioning the breaking down process before the big magic, right? Me, I just see the breakdown process. The big magic not get it to me no more. You feel me?
that they are targeting. And so, what I've noticed across the board, across hundreds of clients, is that they will experience things like intense cravings for sugary foods, for red meat, and for
Yeah.
very bready things because bread is carbs, carbs turn into sugar. So, there is a correlation between what a person eats and how vulnerable they are to witchcraft. Food can be used as a weapon of witchcraft. And one of the
Facts.
ways that a sorcerer will do this is by attaching a particular type of spirit to a person. And this spirit is closely related to the spirit of gluttony and excess. Mainly, it is a parasitic type of spirit. And so when I am saying that these spirits are associated with gluttony and excess and that they are parasitic, this means that for one, a person could be extremely hungry, could find themselves extremely hungry, but only for particular types of
I put y'all on game, right? If you start experiencing a whole bunch of cravings, and then you're also seeing a lot of poop around you, bro, like dog poop, rabbit poop, whatever the heck, bro, it's a demon. And I don't want to scare nobody by that. It's ain't even a hard demon to beat. You literally just don't give it to the cravings. Like niggas be getting scared. Oh, it's a demon, nigga. It's not that deep. A demon is just a being that wishes to harm you. It don't mean a big, scary, powerful monster is gonna suck you dry. Like no, it just means a evil being, right? It's a being that's trying to harm you, nigga. You have that everywhere in life. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna be scared of a demon, nigga, be scared of life. Anyway, I'm saying that because to beat it, just don't give it to the craving. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of that simple. Especially like when you realize that you could beat cravings by just eating healthier foods that are still fulfilling anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, but now if you see a lot of because it's probably Balfagor. You know what I'm saying? You'll see a lot of poop around you. You'll have the craving, especially for like fucking horrible foods. Shit, there might be foods that make you shit a lot. I said Taco Schmel, Taco Bell, more like Taco Schmel. I did bring them up niggas up, right? Shitty bulls.
things. Let's talk a little bit about the issue of why a person craves particular types of food. So, for one, most processed foods are high in salt and they contain things like dyes, they contain artificial or genetically
Salt
modified
is horrible for you,
ingredients,
gang.
and all of this naturally weakens the physical body and the spiritual body. These two bodies are connected. So, if our physical body is being weakened by bad foods, then our spiritual body is automatically going to be weakened by
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not. And one of was crazy too. Niggas be thinking that when you ate the food, that's when your spiritual body got fucked up. No, your shit got fucked up before you ate the food. That's why you ate the food, nigga. Like think about it like this, right? All things happen in the spiritual plane first, which means that on a higher level of existence, right? And by the way, higher don't always mean super peaceful and loving because nigga, the physical plane is the lowest plane. You feel me? And before you get to the crazy spiritual higher heavens, nigga, you got to go through the etheric plane, the astral plane, and the mental plane. You feel me? Saying that because, nigga, for you to even accept the action of eating the food, you had to have accepted it on all those other levels too. You see? Like when most niggas say the spiritual plane, they really just mean the astral plane. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga, you could have had a dream, and then in that dream you was eating food, a certain kind of food. Now in the physical, you're gonna eat that food. You know what I'm saying? You get a thought to eat the food, mental plane. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you see yourself eating it, you feel like eating it, then you eat it. Your shit got damaged before you even ate the food. Your shit got damaged when you accepted the craving. That's when your shit got damaged. And then when you eat the shit, it does also damage. It does also like once you eat it, it doesn't fuck you up more for a fact. But I'm saying the damage already was getting done before you even ate the shit, and then it got damaged even more.
those foods as well. And spiritual body is
Let me rephrase that, because it's not like your soul. Because if we're saying spiritual body in like a literal sense, like the first spiritual body would technically be your soul, and your soul's not affected by anything. You feel me? But your astral body, mental body, and your etheric body is affected by all that shit.
Automatically going to be weakened by those foods as well. And because we are thinking about how important the physical body is for maintaining a good vibration of our spirit, let's go ahead and drop the affirmation in the comments today. Affirmation is, I honor my body so that my spirit may flourish. Ashe, ashe, ashe. When we are thinking about processed foods and when we are thinking about meats to a certain degree as well, these are foods that have a negative vibration. I don't mean negative like bad and good. I mean negative in terms of it does not have a strong enough electric charge to bring light energy into the spiritual body or into the physical body. Then every time you eat certain things of this type of nature, your light body actually takes a hit. The energy of light is drained out, and shadow energy is actually brought into the aura. It creates a kind of invisible wall between you and the spiritual realm. So
Yeah, you could essentially say it like that. I could agree with that. Yeah. When you eat shitty food, you really cannot take in more subtle forms of energy, and because you're not taking in those subtle forms of energy and stuff like that, you're kind of getting blocked up with toxins and shit. You know what I'm saying? You just got toxins that are keeping your fucking. You have toxin. First, you have drained energy. Then you also have toxins which block you from getting more of that subtle energy. And now you're kind of just feeding off the toxins. And that's where a lot of your energy is coming from, just the toxins. You know what I'm saying? And you're having less access to subtle energy. That's why when you eat too shitty, nigga, you die. Nigga, your body can't take that shit no more. You can't even fucking receive the higher energy of your spirit that would fucking heal you up. You know what I'm saying? This is why people will start like doing shit like going on long ass fasts and all their shit and all their whole entire body gets healed because they clear out all the fucking toxins. They're drawing energy from their fucking spirit and it heals your fucking body.
those things block your spiritual gifts and they block your light power.
Yeah.
And so the cravings that you are having for particular foods is not random. It is an intentional planned attack against your aura. Because if our light body is electric, if our light body is vibrant, if it is full of light energy, then a lot of low vibrational things are naturally deflected away from us.
Yeah.
But if our light body is also in shadow energy, in low vibrational energy, then we are going to be weak to spiritual attacks.
And let me say that, right? Because like I said, spiritual body is a very vague term that we use, right? I will say this: your etheric body will definitely be a bit more cooked, mainly because the flow of energy inside your body is gonna be cooked. Like the whole shit with chakras and meridians, that's your etheric body. You feel me? And it'll be blocked up and shit. The astral body would be kind of fucked up too because you start to form this self image of yourself as a person that actually eats this fucked up food and who's open to other low vibrational shit too. It affects your imagination and your self image. You feel me? It also affects your thoughts because now you're constantly thinking about these things too. You feel me? Now, when it comes to your soul is unaffected. The only issue here is the fact that because you are disrupted on all these other levels, you can't even bring awareness to your soul. And now you're shut off from the awareness of your soul. That's the real issue when it comes to how it affects your soul. 'Cause it's not really affecting your soul, but it affects your connection to your soul. Facts. And then it does actually damage the other bodies. Facts.
All know that a lot of my story with my spiritual gifts coming online began with me doing a 10-day fresh juice fast. I was making all the juice myself. And after that, all of my spiritual gifts were completely online. And what I've noticed is that in order to really maintain the integrity, the vibration, the power of my spiritual gifts, I have to eat from the earth. I have to eat my herbs. I have to eat my fruits. I have to eat my vegetables. And so that is really the key, right? Food is supposed to be magic. The same way that there are physical parasites, there are also spiritual
Yeah.
parasites, as in parasitic spirits. And so one of the reasons why we will begin to crave junk.
Now, I was just about to say this too. If you, because remember how I was mentioning the parasites in the beginning of this video and stuff like that. Here's why I was also mentioning the whole spiritual attack aspect of it too. Like when it's not a direct spiritual attack, but it technically still is a spiritual attack in that service. Because, like I said, every craving for these things is not always like someone doing witchcraft on you, but it can definitely be for a fact. Especially when it's random as fuck or it's seemingly random as fuck. But like I said, if you've been eating this shit all your fucking life, bro, it could just be that's how you. Anyway, my point is the fact that when you get parasites in your body and stuff like that, which a lot of people have parasites don't even fucking know that shit. When that happens, right? Understand that spiritually there was a parasite too, because there's a certain thought and energy which made you want to get that food and then eat it, right? Even if it's not like a person sending a demon on you, and even if it's not like a conscious being manipulating you, it's still a certain spirit. Which what I mean by spirit is an intelligent energy, and most spirits are parasitic. You know, they kind of just feed off your energy and stuff like that. Like when it comes to the spiritual parasites that give you physical parasites that make you want to keep on eating, the physical parasites eat the food inside your body, but the spiritual parasites eat the enjoyment that you get from the food. The energy of enjoyment that you get from, that's what they feed off of. So like when you have that thought like I want to eat that food because I know it's gonna taste all good and stuff like that, that energy that you're feeling like, oh, it's gonna taste all good in you, that energy is what those parasites are feeding off of, which that's why I say it can still be seen as a spiritual attack, even if it's not direct witchcraft, and even if it's not a direct being doing it to you, because literally there's a certain intelligent energy that's not even conscious of itself. It's just doing what the fuck it just does. It just goes around and makes niggas feel this. I want this food, da 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 da, so that way they can act off that energy, then feed it back to the parasite, then keep on doing it. And all the foods that you eat physically are going to have the physical parasites which crave it also, and now the spiritual parasite, physical parasite, that shit got a link. You know what I'm saying?
Sugar, fried foods, and so on and so forth, when we are under spiritual attack, it's really all about defiling the body to bring it lower in vibration. So I'm going to create a separate video all on the exact foods that I eat when I know that I am under spiritual attack. Very specific foods that can really invigorate the energy and help us to stave off spiritual attacks. So I will talk about that in a separate video.
We
For
definitely
now,
gonna
let this
watch
be a
that.
lesson on treating the body like
Actually, if y'all wanna watch that, like the video and stuff like that, and comment that you wanna see that shit.
the temple that it is, because this is what I get the most questions about. When it comes to meat, it's all about quality and quantity. Is your meat organic? Does it have added hormones?
I ain't gonna lie, nigga. I'm never fucking with no goddamn meat. I'm not saying you don't got to, cause like it doesn't matter how you get the meat and stuff like that or all that other shit. But I feel like if you have the ability to, bro, and your body's not tweaking off the shit, vegan, bro. Alkaline vegan, bro. But some niggas' bodies really might be in a state where they kind of require the meat in a certain sense. You feel me? I just know I'm not fucking with no meat, but I don't give a fuck what other niggas do.
Are you eating more meat than you are eating vegetables and fruits and herbs? That's really the question. It's a matter of quality and quantity. And so it's all about figuring out for you how much of it and what types of meat you need to best serve you spiritually and physically. If you would like a one on one session to look
I bet that's that video. For me, I'll say when you feed off higher spiritual energy, your body's gonna naturally not want meat. It's just gonna happen naturally anyway. But yeah, quality and quantity. Nigga, I'm at the video right there. Fucking fly. I love you all. Catch my next video. Peace. The freak out.